morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ever since Blessed Geza and his colleagues' outburst in January 2025, where they were telling Mnangagwa that he should leave office, Mnangagwa has been burning the candle at both ends to appease the war veterans. I think every war veteran up and down the country in Zimbabwe owes Blessed Geza a scud, some beer. Because if it was not for Blessed Geza's outburst, Mnangagwa would have never been this generous. That is a fact. Majority of war veterans out there in Zimbabwe received at least a bicycle from Mnangagwa. This is a photograph of bicycles that had been delivered in one district alone to be distributed to the war veterans. Some of the war veterans have since got more than a bicycle. Some of them have got houses with solar panel to make sure they've got electricity and to power the pump for the borehole. The borehole was drilled for them. Others, depending on your rank, have gone on to receive motor vehicles in their own right. And during Heroes celebration tomorrow, Mnangagwa is going to distribute even more motor vehicles. There are motor vehicles right now parked in Harare for the purpose. Here is a video clip of the said motor vehicles.
Dzimota dzese dziri kutoringirwa dzakazara paHarare pole idzi dzinoda kutopiwa mavheti idzi dzese dzamurikudai kuona idzi dzese dzitarisai muone vanhu vese veZimbabwe. Mnangagwa wakutogadzira vheti zvekutoita pamberi nemwe makatongovarairwa muchingoti zvakazodii Mnangagwa toita zvaari kuita ndizvo zvamuri kugadzirirwa idzi. Tarisai muone, tarisai abereki, tarisai abereki. Mota dzese dzakazara paHarare pole idzi dzakazara paHarare pole dzese idzi. PaHarare pole ndipo pandiri kufamba, ndipo pane mota idzi dzatone tsvina idzi. Tarisai muone idzi azowe nenezi kana ndimiwo. Mnangagwa arikutogadzira Mutare district, Mangarweni, Chikomba district, Gokwe South, dzakanzi Ministry of Veteran of the Liberation Struggle Affairs. Muta maisuzu manyama atopihwa vamwe dzavatomirira pihwa vamwe chimani mani. Saka vanhu muite muchingwara maopposition muite muchingwara. Mota dzese dzikadziona dziri papola.
We know what is happening here. This generosity was triggered by Blessed Geza and his friends' outburst against Mnangagwa's 2030 agenda. It was suspended for the last 6 months. And now, no doubt, he's hoping that he can take it up from where he left off. The generosity will continue, rest assured, until the 2028 elections, because Mnangagwa will need the war veterans at least to be silent if he's going to push his Mnangagwa 2030 agenda. We all know what will happen next. The war veterans will be forgotten. This has happened before. This will almost certainly happen again. As soon as the war veterans have done this dirty bidding, they will be discarded like a used toilet tissue. This is the Zimbabwe we are talking about. The reality of the Zimbabwe we are talking about. The real tragedy, of course, is that the war veterans themselves have been used by Zanu PF leadership to deny the ordinary people of Zimbabwe their basic and fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right to a meaningful say in the governance of the country. This is at the heart of our problem, of our political paralysis. The war veterans have been conned to believe that the leadership of Zanu PF and themselves as war veterans, they are special. The country cannot be ruled by anybody else. It has to be ruled by Zanu PF. And they were co-opted to play their part in making sure that that indeed remained so. And hence the reason why we are in this political mess. The war veterans were abused, particularly during the 2008 runoff. They were at the front of the violence. Yes, the army, the police, the CIO carried the more heavy-duty work of the adapting and killing of opposition supporters. But nonetheless, the war veterans did most of the groundwork. Here is a report of what happened during the 2008 elections from none other than Mnangagwa himself.
2008 patakaita ma-elections pakaposa papinda Tsvangirai ndandiri election agent ya president. Ma-results abuda tiri party headquarters vamutasa vanga vari secretary vedu ve-administration vamutasa muripi ndafona ndiri kwarusapi komogwenda kwarusapi seka ma-results achibuda kudai vanga aiwa zvako izvo Mnangagwa ndezvako endaenda kumusha ofisi vanga vabisa zvinhu zvavo zvose watofunga kuti zani yadini yaparara. President ofona zvakamira sei kati ndomamira zvakaita takatodini kateda sei manje mama ndikati abvudzai baba nditaurira baba gadzirai politburo cabinet musarangarira zvimwe zvinhu gadzirai chi cabinet asina kuda kuti muzive kuti 2008 ma-results abuda vamutasa vakatiza.
As a country we face a generational transition. Vana vesa vari kuma below 35 they are crying out for help. The country is in a mess. Arusurufaro. We know we are inheriting a mess. We know this country has been left with nothing.
I'm assuring you that starting from tomorrow, you'll see a different nation from what you have seen or read on the news about these results and everything. Where we are going ahead there, the situation will be very different. What we said to our people, they could not see with their own eyes. We are going to act as we see it fit. We are prepared to go the whole distance.
We know that Zanu PF bribed the war veterans to help them stay in power, to deny people their fundamental freedoms and basic human rights, including the right to a meaningful say in the governance of the country. Mnangagwa's generosity buying bicycles for all these war veterans is just a manifestation of that. The question is, are the war veterans going to continue to sell out the nation's aspiration for freedom and human dignity for a bicycle? And while we are still at it, I think it is appropriate to remind those war veterans that as soon as Mnangagwa is secured what he wants in 2028, youth will be once again forgotten. Many of those war veterans who received bicycles are so poor that if it needed any repair, major repair, they couldn't even afford it. That is how poor you are. Zimbabwe is not a poor country. Zimbabwe is a failed state because we have failed to govern ourselves. The most important thing in fixing Zimbabwe's failed state is to restore the right of every citizen to a meaningful say in the governance of the country. And having played to Zanu PF speeding for the last 45 years in helping deny people their fundamental right to a meaningful say in the governance of the country, it is high time the war veterans changed tune. The bicycle you received is a down payment for you to continue to turn a blind eye to Zanu PF excesses and abuse and oppression. No one is asking you to arrest those who are abusing or rigging the elections. What the best thing you can do as a war veteran is have nothing to do with it. You do not have to go out in the rural areas and coerce people to attend Zanu PF rallies. If the price for your failure to actively being involved in Zanu PF's campaigns is that you do not get a bicycle, so be it. So be it. I think it is a pity that we have come so far in our fight for human dignity, only to find that those who are responsible during the critical years of the white colonial rule for delivering that independence have become the new oppressors. And they've become the willing tool in the hands of the new oppressors. My message to the war veterans is stop being abused by Zanu PF. Mnangagwa's generosity with these bicycles will not last beyond 2028 if it lasts that long at all. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.